The chief, my name is Phil Kearns. I've been a firefighter for 30 years, and I've been with the Frankenmuth Fire Department for about 23 years. So I'm going to take you on a tour. Now, typically everybody knows what the front of the fire station looks like, but maybe they haven't been through the back door like our firefighters do when we get called. So Bridget is going to join me here, our city manager, and take the video. So the first thing we do is we use the door opener and we come on in. And as we walk in, we go to our gear room, which the light will turn on automatically. This is where our 37 firefighters typically have all their gear and get dressed. Now with the COVID-19 issue going on, we're doing some things different now, but this is typically what it looks like in our gear room. And from this point, we take our coats off typically, we take our shoes off, and what we do is we get into our gear as we're talking to each other about what kind of call we have. We pretty much know what trucks we're going to be taking, because certain calls we take certain vehicles. But this is my turnout gear here, and this stuff is very heavy. When a firefighter is all dressed with their turnout gear on, plus their tank, their SCBA or self-contained breathing apparatus tank, we weigh about 40 more pounds. And our helmets are pretty heavy too, but of course that's important to protect our brains and our heads. Okay, so now we're entering the apparatus floor area. Our apparatus floor area is like our garage where we keep our fire trucks. Off to your left is our brush truck, and our brush truck typically goes out on woods fires or field fires. And it's a four-wheel drive standard Chevrolet pickup truck with a slide-in unit. And what the slide-in unit is, it's got water, 250 gallons of water. It's got a pump. It's got hoses on it that are pre-connected, so in case we need to quickly extinguish a brush fire or a field fire, we don't have to take and connect a bunch of hoses. And the diameter of the hose is really small. It's a little bit bigger than your garden hose at home. But this truck also has front bumper nozzles, so we can spray water out the front bumper, so we can technically we can drive and spray and put the fire out as we're doing that. So it's got a little bit of a variety. And if you think about the Frankenmuth Fire Department coverage area is about 44 square miles. About 3 miles of it, 3 square miles is the city of Frankenmuth, and the other 41 square miles is rural areas. So we have quite a few grass fires or field fires from time to time. Behind me is our squad truck. Our squad truck is our manpower vehicle. As I said, it carries about 10 firefighters, but it's kind of like our closet. It carries a lot of different kinds of tools that normally we don't carry on our trucks. We carry our like pieces of wood in here, extra ones in case we have a vehicle accident or some type of a rescue where we need to shore things up using blocks of wood. It carries breathing air that we can fill our breathing tanks up on. It's like an air compressor system. It carries a bunch of different kinds of tools, specialty tools. It carries our ice rescue gear as well. And in this compartment, it's just an example of some of the stuff that we use for to supplement our engines or to add to what we have on scene. But you can see there's shovels hanging in here. There's what we call these rescue struts that we use to stabilize vehicles or pieces of equipment. And there's a extension cord in here and other kinds of wrenches and stuff. And then also in this vehicle, we carry our ice rescue equipment in these bags in case we have to do something with the river, because we also have a boat that's in our storage building. But we have hazardous materials, or for chemical spills, we carry absorbent socks and things like that in here. So I'm going to take you down here and just have Bridget look inside. Hopefully the video is not too dark, but this is where 8 people potentially could sit and respond to a fire call. And again, this is our troop carrier, where we can carry people to a fire scene, and not necessarily that doesn't have water or hoses on it. It's just our closet with wheels. This is our utility vehicle. We use this for special events like AutoFest if we have streets closed, but we also use it for brush fires and field fires because it's a six-wheel Ranger It was donated to us by Weiss Equipment several years ago. And this is one of those pieces of equipment you think like, oh, what are we going to use it for? But we use this for a lot of things. It has been really a handy vehicle. It can carry 2 or 3 of us. And it also can pretty much go anywhere in our 44 square mile district. So it's able to be driven pretty much anywhere. So this has been a real useful vehicle for us. It's also for victim rescue. If somebody's out in the woods, falls, and can't get brought back in, can't walk back in, or we can't carry them out, then we can use this vehicle as well. And like I said, we use it for festivals and events. So, okay, inside the station is also our tender, or our tanker truck. This truck carries about 1,900 gallons of water. So if you think about a gallon of milk, if you put 1,900 of these things in one spot, that's how much could this truck carries. And this truck quickly can dump water. That's what this big square tube is the ability for us to get a pool. And we have a pool that's in behind this metal here. It's called a dump tank, and what we do is we pull up to it. The pool is on the ground typically, and then what we do is we just quickly empty the water into it, and that's for areas that we don't have fire hydrants, because again, like we said, we have a lot of rural area. We're moving to the front of the fire station out by Genesee Street. This is our 100-foot aerial platform truck, so really it's a ladder truck. This truck carries 6 firefighters. It goes up high. We can go reach out with it 100 feet, or we can reach up 100 feet, depending on what we need to do. But it'll carry 2 firefighters in the platform if we're flowing water, but if we're not flowing water, we can have up to 4 firefighters in our platform truck. And this truck is really for the big buildings that we have in town. It can flow a lot of water. It can get water higher up that hoses from the ground can't reach. So it's been a really good vehicle for us to have, especially with our big business district. I'm going to take you over to this truck. This is our newest one. This is a 2014 Rosenbauer truck. It's a pumper tender. So it hauls 2,000 gallons of water, but it also pumps water as well. Whereas that truck we had with the tank that I just showed you, that doesn't really pump as much as this one. This one can pump 2,000 gallons per minute. And this ladder truck too, believe it or not, as big as it is, it's got a 200-gallon water tank on it, so not very much. This engine tender next to me carries 10 times the amount of water that this ladder truck covers. But again, this pumper brings hoses, it brings 6 people, but it also brings that 2,000 gallons of water. We can spray a lot of water with this truck. And this is our newer vehicle. And then our older engine is our engine over here. This carries 1,000 gallons of water. It also has hoses on it, carries 6 people as well. But we also use this if we have to go out on vehicle accidents or anything involving vehicle fires, things of that nature. So that truck is kind of our 2002 vehicle. It's kind of our reserve pumper, but it also goes out on fires and things like that. Okay, this is our radio room inside the fire station. And this is the room that we come into, and we man our base station on the radio if the fire trucks call. Typically we get dispatched by 911 in Saginaw County, but this is for our local people to get in touch with our trucks and maybe let us know how many people are at the station, or if we have to call somebody like Consumers Energy to report something. We don't usually call 911 in Saginaw, we usually call our base station, and they are the ones that do all the work for us. With regard to what you can do to be prepared, we always give people homework when we do a station tour, and that is when you go home, check your smoke detectors, make sure they're working, have an escape plan available. Talk to your parents about it with regard to if something were to happen at your house, who do you call, where do you go, outside I would hope, and get your pets and people out of, and all of your family out of the house if possible. If you can't do that, then at least call 911 sometime in between those steps, hopefully one of the first things you do to get us coming, so that we can make sure that we get there and help you and maybe put the fire out quickly or help you with the situation. But we don't ever want anybody to go back inside of a house if there's a fire. And typically pets will come out with you as well.